Hindraf, High Chaparral, the Penang Kampung Boa Pala case. There have been very ferocious statements by Hindraf, in particular by Muti, accusing the Penang Chief Minister of being a party to an fraudulent transaction of Kampung Boa Villa Village, making very, very fierce and vituperative statements about the Chief Minister. I think Hindraf is doing no service to the cause of the Indians, whether in the High Chaparral, Penang, or throughout the country, by resorting to such accusations, statements, abuses, and even the threat that Hindraf is prepared to break relations with the DAP. Let us come to the issues at stake. Why is it that the person who is the culprit responsible for the Kampung Boa Pala issue is been allowed to get away scot-free? None other than the former Chief Minister Koh Su Kun. Of course, there are those who say that the issue of Kampung Boa Pala can be resolved with a stroke of the pen. Yes, with a stroke of the pen, but can Penang state government and the Penang people afford it? There's now a project arising from that site, which will cost from 150 million to 200 million ringgit. 150 million ringgit to 200 million ringgit. There are 23 houses, 23 houses, 23 resident families, 23 families who are digging their toes in and fighting on this issue. So the question is, although the Penang Chief Minister can resolve it with a stroke of the pen, question is, can the Penang State Government and the Penang people afford it? 150 million to 250 million ringgit compensation, 23 resident families. I mean, these are the issues. And the question is, why is it Koh Su Kun is running away? I call on Koh Su Kun to stop running away. Don't go and copy Ong Ti Kiat. Stand and explain why the Penang State Government under his Chief Ministership, approved the alienation of High Chaparral in Penang at 10 ringgit per square foot without consulting the people who are going to be affected. And whether he's prepared to make amends tomorrow, the cabinet meeting, whether he's going to raise the issue at the cabinet meeting tomorrow and say that the Barisan Nasional has done a great disservice to the people in Kampung Boa Pala, and that under the Prime Ministership of Najib, recompense must be made, and that the federal government and the cabinet will approve an allocation necessary for the proper compensation and the resolution of the High Chaparral case. Okay? Next one, which I'm sure you all are 退出做政府. 退出做政府. 即行动党退出明年政府. On this question, well, there's supposed to be a meeting of the Pakatan Rakyat at 1 p.m. of the Leadership Council, but that meeting has been postponed. In fact, that meeting of the Pakatan Rakyat Council meeting was called early yesterday morning, before these controversies came up, before we knew about this development about Kedah DAP wants to pull out of state government over the Aperture, before we heard about the UMNO youth and past youth intellectual discussions and the Secretariat. But in view of the fact that it was not possible to get all the PR leaders to be present, that PR leadership meeting has been put off. Instead, a Secretariat meeting is being held. I'm of course shocked and surprised by the latest developments, which is no less than a second crisis of confidence faced by Pakatan Rakyat. We resolved the first crisis of confidence, but now we are faced with the second crisis of confidence. question, of course, is whether Pakatan Rakyat can resolve it, and if there is a goodwill, we are all committed to a common goal, I think then we should be able to resolve it. But on the specific issue of the Kedah DAP and the Pakatan Rakyat government in Kedah, I have to wait for the report. I propose to go to Alostar and meet with the Kedah DAP, and maybe even to meet with the people of Alostar, because without going to the details of the issue and even the particular issue of controversy, there is undoubtedly a considerable frustration, exasperation felt by Kedah DAP that their views have not been taken seriously.